Yes. Right.
One is interesting.
Hamdi, what are you doing?
Well, I'm preparing lesson for this coming semester. You know that we have many classes.
Yes.
So I'm thinking of trying to come up with something new, different approach.
Okay. You want to come up with a different approach because you want to improvise our teaching and learning process?
Yes, exactly, Kak. Because we have to prepare our student for this coming future where they have to be prepared for the working world.
Yes. Because we are TVET. So our technical and vocational training, education and training, our TVET keeps on evolving.
True enough.
That is why if we want to be at par in this global competitive world, we must transform.
Yes, exactly. Because the market, the working world, the demand is expanding. So we have to make sure that we ourselves be prepared so that we are responsible in providing our students.
Yes, to prepare the students.
To equip them for knowledge and also for skill.
Yes, because the coming world, the coming working world, they need skillful, knowledgeable, and competent workforce.
Exactly.
And if we want to realize our vision 2020 to have developed nation, we must make sure that yes, our students are of those qualities.
Yes, exactly, Kak.
So, what do you plan actually?
Okay, Kak. How about employing blended learning approach?
Oh, okay. Blended learning approach.
Yes.
That is interesting actually.
Yes.
Because in blended learning, we actually integrate the different learning environments into the lessons. Meaning that we can explore how is it like that we want to set the lesson.
Well, I believe, Kak, by employing blended learning approach, it allows us to explore virtual world creatively and innovatively.
Yes, because when it's virtual, meaning that the elements of information and communication technology, the ICT, yes, the embedded of ICT in our lessons, it will help to add up the spices. When our lessons are interesting, meaningful, then the students will be more interested to learn.
It suits them also, right?
Yes, it's their world.
Yes, exactly. Nowadays, students nowadays, they need virtual, you know. Then again, Kak, I'm not really sure how is it to implement or integrate blended learning in TVET.
Okay.
How is it to run?
Basically, when it comes to blended learning, we have the traditional classroom is still on actually.
Oh,
plus the elements of learning, but then based on e-learning.
Oh, you mean
you still have the modes, the two modes.
Oh, you mean that the face-to-face and also the computer-mediated instruction.
Exactly.
Okay, I get it now.
That's why it calls blended. You blend the traditional plus the modern ones.
I see. Okay.
And actually, there are many ways that you can implement, you can blend, you can employ this blended learning, because there are certain components of blended learning actually. Firstly, the first component of blended learning is the in-person classroom activities. In person.
That is face-to-face?
Yeah, face-to-face, but then it doesn't mean that you have to be in person, real life, no.
Okay, so?
It means that you can also have it virtually. The lecturers and the students, they are at different places.
Okay.
Everybody, you have your own gadgets. How is it like? They communicate among themselves at the same time at different places. Communication is on, classes is on.
Okay, that is good idea. I get it, Kak. So we believe that we know we have to attend courses, right?
Yes.
So even if we are not there in the classroom, the lesson is still carried out.
Yes, because we can set at different times with the students, and everybody will be there, so the lesson will still be on.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yes, it's very interesting, and it helps a lot when we want to rearrange, to manage our lesson, to manage our syllabus with the students.
That's good. So what about the second component?
Okay, the second component of blended learning is the customized online materials, meaning we have prepared the tasks and also the contents, the subject matters of what that we want to share with the students, or we want the students to prepare for the lessons. We customize it, then we provide it to them. They would do it. They would perform the task. They would find whatever possible.
Don't you think that it sounds like we are feeding them?
Not really, actually.
Okay.
Because when we prepare the materials for them, when we prepare the task for them, actually we are not feeding. We are preparing the framework. We prepare the framework for them to how is it like with all the materials, the resources that they have. They have to gather the input, and then they have to sort the input. Then they organize the input, the knowledge that they have, and then how is it like that they want to share it in class.
I see.
Meaning that before the class or after the class, we are facilitating them. We are guiding them on how is it that they want to develop themselves.
Okay, so that is the key word here.
Yes.
Facilitate.
Yes, we are facilitating. We are not feeding.
Yes, exactly. That's the one.
Because we must remember, we are training our students to be independent. They must be independent. They must find whatever materials, whatever input for them, from them to them. And they must be responsible. They are now responsible for their own learning.
You have to be independent, right?
Yeah, that's why we are not feeding them, because they are independent.
Yes.
But then we have to remember as well, our students are heterogeneous. And then if we compare our students with the other university students, they are different. So that is why we are helping them in order to really develop the subject matter, really enhance their skills through whatever lesson, whatever task, whatever materials that we are sharing with them. That's why it is customized.
Oh, true enough.
That is why this element, actually, the components of blended learning is very important, because we want to make sure that although we are not there, there's no direct communication with the students, still they could do it. That's why continuous communication, meaning that after the class itself, the students contact us, is very important, because we want to make sure that they utilize the materials that we provide for them.
What about the third one?
The third one is the structured independent study time.
This one is the non-face-to-face.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
This is a non-face-to-face. It means that we have had the lesson with them, okay, and then we provide them with the materials. They are to perform, they are to do whatever the task that we have assigned them, be it the task of assessment, or be it they have to find information on other materials, and now they are on their own.
This one, it can be done outside of the classroom, right?
Yes.
After the class ends.
Yes.
Okay.
It depends on our creativity, on how is it that we want them to perform. If is it that we want to really facilitate them, guide them, you have it this way or that way, or we give them the freedom and yet they have to perform the output later on.
I see.
The non-face-to-face.
Wow, what a great sharing session about blended learning.
Yeah, it's still something that subject matter, content is on. We share it with the students. Sharing is caring. And then during the class itself, they get the info, whatever information, whatever knowledge, and then they could enhance their skills within the classroom. Then after that, they polish themselves, especially during this non-face-to-face. That's why they must be independent. They are responsible of their own learnings in order to really develop themselves.
We create opportunity for them.
Yes.
Right?
We guide them, we facilitate them. Then you go on your own. Be independent.
Yeah, they have to do it, right? Or
Yes.
else, how can they survive in working world?
Yes.
Right?
That's how this is the world nowadays.
Yes.
Well, if we look at it, okay, in short, actually, for this blended learning, we must remember that whatever the contents, the subject matters, whatever the materials, actually, it can be developed, it can be shared, be it online or offline. For our polytechnics, we have our CDOS platforms for us to do this, to employ this blended learning. So actually, the facilities, the path is there for us to utilize. And then when it comes to the students' communication, our roles, we have to facilitate their communication because we are facilitators. Because through the communications, whatever that they have between friends to friends, lecturer and students, then they could improve themselves. They could get it. And then when it comes to guiding them, we are guiding. We are not feeding. We are just guiding and we are not feeding. And we as lecturers, we are facilitators, and remember, you still need to assess your students.
Yes,
we grade the students.
Exactly.
Then we know their performance. How is it like? Do you agree with me?
Yes, I totally agree. Well, I see it better and clearer. I will definitely employ blended learning in my lesson. Thank you so much, Kak, for this sharing.
Problem. You're most
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
Sir, I'm sorry to disturb you, but do you have anything to do?
Nothing much. Okay, what? Why?
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure. What is it?
I found this article about TVET in the internet.
Okay.
It caught my interest, but
Okay.
unfortunately, I don't really understand about it. Would you mind enlighten me?
Okay, sure. What is it about?
It is about TVET, and TVET stands for Technical Vocational Education Training. But the foundation of this TVET, I don't really understand about it.
Okay, so basically, TVET, as you said, it stands for Technical and Vocational Education and Training. So basically, TVET, the main role is to provide knowledge and also skills, so that the quality of people's life will be improved. So basically, it is about empowering individuals. Okay, so that in the future they would get decent work, and then when they get decent work, they can improve themselves, not only themselves but also their family members. Not to forget, they can contribute something to the communities. So that is actually the role of TVET. Okay.
It sounds interesting. Thank you for the information, sir.
Okay, no problem. So, yeah. Any other questions?
I think that's now.
Okay, so you can continue reading.
Sir, I'm sorry to disturb you, but do you have anything to do right now?
Currently, nothing much.
So,
Why?
can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So basically, I'm surfing the internet, and I
Okay.
found this article about TVET. It is very interesting, but unfortunately, I don't really understand about the role of this TVET.
I
Would you mind
see.
enlighten me?
Yeah, sure. Well, TVET stands for Technical and Vocational
Okay.
Education and Training. So basically, the main role of TVET is to provide knowledge and also skills that could improve people's life. So basically, it is about empowering empowering peoples, so that they could improve themselves. Okay, not only in the future that we get decent work.
Okay.
So when they got decent work, they could contribute something. Not just for themselves, but also for their family, and also perhaps for the communities. So that is actually the role of TVET. Okay, providing knowledge and also skills to people. Okay.
That sounds interesting.
Yes.
So thank you, sir, for giving me those information.
No problem. Okay, information. Polytechnics are implementing TVET. Do you know that?
Really? I don't know that polytechnics are implementing TVET.
Well, actually, in Malaysian education system, under the Ministry of Education, polytechnics and community colleges serves as the pillar to provide not only knowledge but also skill to people, not only students but also the other communities, especially in the community colleges. So the mission of polytechnics is transforming education, not only education, but also training. Okay, in providing a skillful yet knowledgeable workforce. So that is the ultimate reason why, if you notice, polytechnic students, they are not only focused on learning via the book 100%, but most of the time they have to go to the lab, working on the machines. Because of what? We want not only give them knowledge but also instill skills, so that in the future they could use both knowledge and also skills.
Oh, now I get it. So polytechnics are preparing their students to their future I mean working environment.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Working environment. Because of what? That is the difference. The main difference that separates us between university students and also polytechnic students. Polytechnic students, we, the lecturers, we provide them with knowledge and
Okay.
also skills.
Okay. So basically, I'm in mechanical department.
Yes.
So I think I have experienced this in my own class.
Exactly, right?
So for example, in my class, the lecturers focus on working on machine. So the students have experience working on a real machine. Some of the institution, I think they only learning how to work on the machine theoretically. But in polytechnics, we have the chance to work on the machine real.
Plus, if you notice, if you work on the machine, especially if you notice there are some problems, right, in the machines, you can directly ask the lecturers what is it about and how to solve the problem, right?
Yes,
So that is the main thing about polytechnic. That is the main thing about TVET.
Oh, okay. So I feel that polytechnics are good for providing their students to prepare themselves for their working environment.
Yes, exactly. You know, because of what? It's very important that you yourself experience the working environment before even step into the working world. Naim,
Yes.
are you aware about blended learning in TVET?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I don't really get the idea of blended learning in TVET. Could you please explain it to me?
Yeah, sure. So basically, blended learning is the combination of traditional method of teaching and also e-learning learning environment. So basically, we are combining them.
Okay.
Where you still have the traditional method of teaching, where you have to go to the class, listen to the lectures, you know, Q&A session with the lecturers. But also, in addition to that, you have the e-learning environment, where perhaps after the class ends, the lecturer will ask you to go to some websites for extra notes, watch some videos, you know, how to handle the machines, and also go to the websites that provide with some exercises, okay, for your better understanding.
Okay, now I understand about blended learning in TVET. So basically, I have experienced this too in my
really?
class. Yeah. When one of my lecturers have a course to go to, she will provide us with some additional notes that we can download it from CDOS.
That's good.
On top of that, if there's any tests or any assignments that we have to do, she will provide it in CDOS, and we just have to surf the internet and do it on the internet. It's simple as that.
Well, that gives an advantage to both lecturers and also the students.
Yes.
Even if the lecturers are not there, but still the lesson is carried out.
Yeah.
Right? So that is the advantage of how it is important to integrate blended learning in TVET.
Yeah.
So, do you get it?
Yes, sir. Now I get it. So I can't believe that throughout this semester, Polytechnics is preparing me not only being knowledgeable but also skillful. So it suits the vision of 2020, where we must have a skillful and knowledgeable workforce to be the developed nation. So I'm really thankful that I could get the opportunity to study in Polytechnic, because I think that Polytechnics have prepared me for the working world, and also, not only that, I could also contribute to community as well.
Yes, exactly. So you have to believe that whatever things that we do in class, whatever things that you do in your lab, in workshop, we are actually preparing you for the future so that you could be independent and also be competitive to face the real world. You know, the real world now is very competitive. Okay, in order for you to survive, you have to be knowledgeable and also skillful.
So I guess I'm really appreciate for this information about TVET and all. So I really appreciate.
it's good that you read this article so that we have this kind of conversation,
Yes,
right?
I'm really glad.
It's good. Okay, so yeah. Can I continue with my work?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You can continue reading for more understanding.
Okay, thank you, sir.